just get this thing working. Oh. Where? Still look down. Still look down. This is okay. It's no problem. Black! Black, get in here! Black, hurry!
Yes, Minister.
Get me down!
Where are you, Minister?
Black, come up here, hurry! Get me down! No more free lights!
What are you doing up there, sir?
Just get me down!
Right, down. How do you want me to do that, sir?
Now!
Now, right, now. How would I do that?
Black, get me down!
Yes, now, right, yes. I have an idea. Would you like
Just
to...
get me down! You got me? You got me? You
so.
sure? I'm letting go now, Black.
Okay.
You sure? Here I come.
I've got it.
Get me over to the desk.
Desk?
Get me over to the desk, Black.
Right.
Black, just get me over to the... Black, where are you going? Get me over to the desk. Spin around, Black. Black! Black, get me over to the desk. Hurry. Black, where are you going?
My desk.
My desk, Black. My desk. My
your
desk.
desk.
There you go. Okay, just back up a little bit. Okay. You have to bend over backwards for me here, Black.
I always do, sir. Oh, you shouldn't have attempted something like that in the ministry itself, sir. You all right, sir?
No, you imbecile. I almost killed myself.
Well, if I might say, with very little regard to the paperwork you would have generated. F/792 takes 3 hours to complete. And N/605. Oh, that's almost impossible to understand now that it's been transferred from one official language to the other.
Black.
Yes, Minister.
Call maintenance and get a new light bulb. And get rid of that ladder.
Right away, sir. Oh, Minister? Oh, what about your suicide?
Now, Black, before I requisition S/306.
Oh, but that's for homicide, sir. Yes, I see what you mean.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Come in. May I help you, madam? Madam. What is
No
that
one
you?
wants my husband. Not his mother, his brothers, or sisters, so you can see why I come here. I know his attorney. You have to take him.
If it's a government job you're looking for, he'll have to apply in person at the Ministry of Employment from 9 to 5, Monday through Fridays, except on holidays, when you can mail in Form A/55, which is obtainable at the Bureau for Request, Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon to 4, second floor. Is that clear, madam?
He's dead!
Who's dead?
My husband!
Why is he applying for a job?
He's not applying for a job.
What are you doing here?
I want it buried.
Well, have you had him examined?
No.
No! Your husband is dead and you haven't had him examined?
I didn't know I had to.
It's the law!
I don't want to break the law.
Then I suggest you have him examined. And when that's done, come back here and I'll issue you a permit to have him buried.
What should I have him examined for?
To see if he's dead.
But I know he's dead!
Are you a doctor?
No.
Then you cannot know if your husband is dead.
He's white as a sheet and doesn't move a muscle. He hasn't eaten in 2 months.
That may well be, but the law specifically states that all persons suspected of being deceased must first be examined by a qualified doctor before internment.
He's not breathing.
That may well be, but he has to get examined first.
I don't have the money for a doctor.
All doctors are paid by the government.
They always ask for more. I don't have any more.
By not having him examined, you're depriving someone of their livelihood and the government of the taxes on that livelihood.
I could save a little out of my husband's monthly death benefit check.
You can't get that until he's buried, and from that you need a permit, and I can't give you a permit until he's examined.
But he's starting to smell.
Badly?
No, not too badly, but it's only a matter of time.
Then I suggest you start saving your money now.
I'm not leaving until you help me.
Madam, believe me, I would give you the permit this second, if for nothing else, just to get you out of my office, but I can't. Okay, look. It's no secret that the government wants all the money it can get its hands on, and that it's ready and willing to tax anything, alive or dead, to get it. But even the government stopped short of issuing permits to bury people who are still living. See, madam, if you don't leave this second, I'll be forced to call someone. Black, get in here!
Yes, Minister.
Remove this woman! Gently, Black. She may be a conservative. What party do you vote, dear lady?
Liberal, of course.
Remove her, Black, quickly.
Yeah, this way, madam.
Hello? Hello in there? Who's that?
A window washer.
see that. I mean, who is that?
Oh, I'll go check. Who are you?
A humble window washer. But I sense a problem here, and I think I may have a solution. See, before I took up window washing, I was a qualified doctor who specialized in examining people thought to be dead. This included a president of a foreign country who slept during cabinet meetings and a queen who hasn't changed her facial expression in 40 years.
My husband is dead.
Not without a certificate.
I can rectify that.
And are you qualified to certify?
Yes.
And you can examine my husband.
Yes, and what's more, I'll do it for what the government pays me, thereby making an act of charity and tax deductible.
Thank you, doctor.
And if you find that he's actually dead, you can register him as such.
No.
No?
No.
No what?
No, I'm outside my province.
What am I going to do?
This way, madam.
No!
Oh, if you don't leave this instant, I'll be forced to call in reinforcements.
I'm not leaving until you give me a permit!
You'll regret this, madam. I assure you.
What? Do you know for certain that this woman isn't wired with an explosive device?
What?
Have you ever seen her before today?
Of course not.
Then how do you know she isn't wired with sufficient nitro to blow this entire ministry to kingdom come?
Well, I don't. Do you, madam?
Don't answer that. Any statement forcibly extracted from a suspect without benefit of counsel will never hold
I
up
never
in
laid a
court.
hand on her.
And again, all that might be good if the story about her dead husband is merely a ruse to get in here to plant a bomb.
Bob, take cover!
Have you a bomb, madam?
You think she'd tell you if she did?
She is a liberal.
There it is, then.
Dear good madam, the government is always ready to come to the aid of every citizen, no matter what their voting persuasion, and help them in their hour of greatest need to the best of its ability. Black, get up and help this kind woman.
Are you sure, Minister? Maybe we could wait till after lunch when there will be even more help available.
My assistant will give the good doctor a pre-approved application allowing him to practice in this province so that you can have your husband buried without further delay. Would that be satisfactory?
I guess so.
Black, give this man a form so we can have her husband examined so she can be about her business and gone.
And that'll be TR/431.
I'm afraid I can't fill out form TR/431.
Why not? Black, go to the door and see who that is. You tell me why you can't fill out the form?
Very warm.
Not warm, warm. What?
It's very warm.
You must stop that pounding.
Black, what is that?
They won't stop pounding long enough for me to hear who it is.
Then open the door and find out who it is.
Oh, but it might not be someone we want in the ministry, sir.
I already have people I don't want in the ministry, Block. Get that woman to her feet, Flock.
I'm trying, sir, but she won't move.
I'm going to stay at your feet, Minister, until doomsday if necessary.
That's the minister.
Oh, at your feet, Minister, until doomsday.
Get up, woman.
Not until I'm forgiven.
I forgive you. Get
I
up.
need clerical forgiveness.
I can't give that.
I can.
Oh, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I thought you said you were a doctor.
He's a window washer.
You're not a cleric?
Well, I was a cleric before I was a doctor.
I'm confused.
What have you done that you feel you need to repent?
Kill the man!
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Have you had him examined? That come to mind.
Who did you kill?
I don't know.
Would you usually go around killing people you don't know, or was this a spur-of-the-moment thing?
The point is that woman killed someone.
But is she absolutely sure? Evidence must be gathered before guilt is assumed.
Well, I was driving home from art class when I heard this thump, and when I turned around, he was lying in the street.
That sounds proven to me. I'll call that.
Wait!
Why?
You need facts.
The woman admitting to hitting a man with her car. That's enough fact. Black, call Metro.
Right away.
Wait!
Why?
They're going to want details. Where it happened, how it happened.
We know how it happened.
Well, where did it happen?
Right out front.
But there were police out front. Didn't they fill out a report?
Well, they thought that since this was a government building, there was probably a government person that I mowed down.
Allegedly mowed down.
Allegedly mowed down, that something would be arranged?
Are you offering a bribe?
Not necessarily.
Well, bribes are not accepted.
But donations are. How much do you have?
Wait a minute. Did you actually see yourself hit the man?
No.
Aha!
What do you mean, aha?
An aha! Aha!
What do you mean, aha?
Aha! Aha!
What do you mean, aha?
And you don't know for sure that the man was actually dead.
He wasn't moving! That doesn't seem to matter.
You're not even first certain that it was a man.
What?
It could have been a woman dressed in man's clothing.
Why would she do that?
To get higher wages.
The person was wearing a long black gown with a white collar and a wig.
So you either hit a federal court judge or a bald nun.
In either case, a form has to be filed. Did you file a form?
I didn't know that.
First, she has to have him examined.
Or maybe I didn't kill anyone.
Well, the case could be made either way.
How do you know?
Well, before I was a cleric, I was a lawyer.
Then you're not a doctor.
He just said he was a cleric.
After he was a lawyer.
I'm confused.
It'll pass.
Oh, I invoke sanctuary.
In my office? Impossible.
He's a cleric. He can do it.
Well, not actually. I'm outside my diocese.
I have the form right over here.
What about my husband?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout. The stress of dragging him everywhere is getting to me.
Hey, you brought him with you?
Well, the man at the front desk wouldn't let me bring him in.
Why not?
He's dead! Are you sure? I don't know. He's stiff and he has this glazed over expression. But since I haven't had him examined, I'm not so sure anymore.
Professors at the college get away sometimes, and then they just pop right back up.
I had a great aunt like that. Too much sherry.
Block.
Yes, Minister.
Well, how do you move him from place to place, being stiff and all?
In his truck. You can see it from here if you lean over the railing. My husband was an ice cream man. You should have seen the children run whenever he jingled his bells. And he remembered all their names and which flavor they liked. Jimmy Webster liked orange creamsicles, and Tiffany Follard, she'd send her nanny downstairs. She only ate chocolate quadrupled with the malt milk chocolate. I never actually saw Tiffany, of course, but he always remembered that she only ate chocolate.
What about your husband?
He liked vanilla. He was a simple man, a man who never wanted much out of life except to make people happy, and when he died, no one wanted him, and since then, I haven't been able to get him buried.
So you stored him in the truck?
Stiff as a popsicle.
Ew.
And do you have a permit for freezing your husband?
Do I need one?
I don't know. The situation never came up before. Block?
Well, to make an exception, he's not bothering anyone, and the only time you can smell him is when the freezing unit shuts down. But once I get it
Excuse me,
started,
where do you have your allegedly dead husband parked?
in the front, in the blue zone.
It's a handicapped area. Do you have a handicap permit?
No, but I'm sure as soon as I get my husband examined, they'll give me one. I mean, with me and all in mind, having to drive him everywhere.
Well, you can submit an application to the Ministry of Parking Permits
Where do I get an application?
at the Ministry of Written Requests, but they're closed today for the holiday.
How long would it take?
I'll go check.
It's costing a lot to keep the freezing unit going all day.
Well, have you tried leaving him with a neighbor when you go out? Maybe one of them has a freezer. You could put him in on sort of a part-time basis. He probably wouldn't take up much more room than a couple of dozen chickens if you could fold him up first. Think?
I've tried, but no one will take him. They're afraid of making a commitment. Dead people are very hard to leave places.
I think I have a solution. Now, if Ms. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Susu Weberhauser.
If Ms. Weberhauser were to file a statement saying that she killed Mrs. Goland's husband,
What's
then...
your first name?
I don't know.
Huh?
I've been Mrs. Goland for so long that I've forgotten who I was before, but I don't think it matters. Everybody calls me Mrs. Goland, and all my mail comes to Mrs. Goland, and all my charge cards say Mrs. Goland.
Well, didn't you ever wonder who you were before?
No. Actually, it'd be quite confusing being someone else after all these years. What if I was walking across the street and a truck ran a red light and someone yelled, "Watch out, Mary Lacey!" I'd just keep walking and get hit by the truck. This way, if someone yells, "Watch out, Mrs. Goland," I'd know exactly who they were talking about.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I don't mean to interrupt, but I think I have formulated the foundation of your case against the province.
What case?
For not finding you sooner. You're unquestionably a homo absens with possible felonious premeditations perpetrated upon you by subjects heretofore unknown, an area a subject I specialize in.
What does that mean?
That you're a missing person.
I'm not missing, I'm here.
There could be bank accounts all over the country under your other name.
I've never traveled.
The will's naming you as the sole beneficiary.
I don't know anyone with money.
Overpaid taxes.
Money the government owes me?
Hundreds, maybe even thousands. But of course there'd be depositions to make, appeals, injunctions, cross-injunctions.
How long would it take?
Well, it's hard to say, but as soon as there's room on the docket, I'll take your case immediately.
Thank you.
Can we get back to me? Sooner or later, they're going to notice the guy in the street. He's blocking traffic down there.
Certainly, but I'm afraid all I brought today was my bucket and squeegee. I'm afraid I don't have my legal books.
Then how can I be sure you're a real lawyer?
Are you questioning my status in the legal community?
Well, it's not every day you see a lawyer washing windows.
These are hard times, this being the 14th year of a 6-month recession. Yesterday I saw a judge bussing tables. A federal court judge, no less, and what was he reduced to doing? Working for tips in a truck stop. I'm one of the lucky ones, Ms. Weberhauser. I have trades to fall back on.
Was he really a judge?
If I told you his name, you'd recognize it immediately.
Then where exactly are your legal books?
In the safekeeping of a well-known businessman's establishment, along with the reference libraries of some of the country's finest legal minds, and retrievable with the merest exchange of a receipt.
Oh, They're in a pawn shop.
Oh dear.
Get up, Minister.
Let it seriously your chair. Get out.
I admit that currently I'm at liberty from the profession, but I assure you it's only a temporary separation until our economy turns around, which I've been assured by our national newspaper will not be too much longer than now.
Well, how do they know?
Well, they read it in the foreign press.
But I need help now, and I'll need it later.
Well, with a small retainer, I could retrieve my books.
How small?
5,000.
Smaller.
4? $1.98.
Take it or leave it.
Well, you won't be disappointed. Now, having been officially retained as your lawyer, I respectfully submit that if my client were to fill out a form stating the man or woman she killed today
T/14.
was Alexander Goland, and as a qualified doctor licensed to practice in the province, I certified Alexander Goland to have been dead for
2 months.
then I could try the case on the grounds that Ms. Weberhauser couldn't have killed anyone today. Because the one single and only person that she did kill today has been dead for 2 months. And if today was the only day that she killed someone, why then it follows that she couldn't have killed anyone at all. Would that be an acceptable solution?
Yes, I suppose it could be. If I'm right, which I possibly could be. Or not, which is also a possibility.
Excuse me, Minister, but you sound the slightest bit uncertain.
Well, it's hard for me to make a decision like that. Or if you killed one person today, and your lawyer proves that it was someone else, then someone else will have to be the one who killed the person in the street.
Your decision is exceptional.
Do you really think so?
Without a doubt.
First one I've ever made.
It didn't show.
Thank you. By the way, what party affiliation are you? What was that?
What is it, Mrs. Goland?
Ah, they probably towed him away.
Who would tow an ice cream truck?
Under Metro's new incentive plan, every 20 tickets goes towards a bonus. And since the service tax has been levied on all tickets, the more tickets given, the more taxes paid, thus allowing the government to continue its efforts to give the good people more free services.
But if you use the people's money to pay for the services and their services aren't free.
They haven't figured that out yet.
Streetcars are stopping and people are coming to Mrs. Goland's aid.
Aid? Why does she need aid?
They think you've seized her husband for unpaid taxes.
Is that possible?
I don't think so. It's
There's
a
an
thought.
officer being brought in for crowd control. Geez, there must be 100 schoolgirls attacking him. Look at that old man swing that umbrella, and that old woman with the cane got him right in the...
Tell Mrs. What's her name to come back up here. We'll find her husband.
Come back up here, Mrs. Goland, and we'll find your husband.
You can find him, can't you?
In time. What are they doing now?
Well, people are starting to get back in the streetcars and the traffic is moving in. Everyone's going home, except for that old woman. She's just standing over the downed officer with her foot on his chest, with her cane clenched and a fist raised high. It's amazing what a cause can bring out in a person. I'll bet you she's a foreigner.
What about Mr. Goland?
We'll do everything possible to find the man, sparing no realistic expense.
Well, it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, how many other ice cream trucks are being towed around the city with dead men in them?
Well, it would be hard to have those figures at hand without a report from the Ministry of Research.
Just a ballpark estimate. One other truck with a dead guy in it? 2? 3, maybe?
Definitely less than 3.
Oh, that's reassuring. Have you found any yet? Oh, not yet, but there's a 1 in 3 chance.
What am I going to do? I can't get death benefits without a body, and I can't bury a body I can't find.
Oh, well, you could use the one in the street. I don't think he'll be missed.
Impossible! If he's a federal court judge, he's government property.
I think I have a solution.
What?
we'll get another body.
Well, whose?
Mine.
Yours?
But you're still alive.
Actually, I'm not.
How's that?
Well, you see, when I applied for unemployment last month, window washing jobs being scarce now due to the unforeseen prolonged rainy season, the computer wouldn't accept my number and declared me dead.
Block, get in here.
Oh, look, this is very kind of you, and I hate to reject an offer which might be the only one of its kind I'm ever likely to get, but won't it be difficult for you to defend me for not killing you if you're already dead?
And burying you would be rather awkward.
I could commit suicide.
Ooh, okay.
Block, now!
Yes, Minister.
F/792, M/605, and H/401.
Right away. Are you going to commit suicide again, sir?
Oh, you idiot! The window washer is!
Well, if you were going to do it first, I mean, it is your office and everything. You would have first shot at it, so to speak.
I'm not planning on committing suicide. I never intended on committing suicide. I will never commit suicide. Is that perfectly clear?
Yes. Perfectly clear.
Okay, Black, get the forms. That is, if you're still going through with it.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Well, it probably wouldn't have worked anyway, having to issue my own death certificate and bring a federal suit proving I'm still alive.
Forget the forms, Black.
No forms, yes, Minister.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So if you're not going to commit suicide, are you dead or not?
Minister?
Well, that's a question that would have to be addressed by an expert. Unfortunately, all the country's experts are out of the country giving expert advice to other countries.
Well, what about you?
I'm not an expert on anything.
Sorry to pop it in you like this, but it's getting pretty ragged down there. Yours was the nearest refuge. Now you growl, but at your service. Whose service is it actually that I'm at, if you don't mind my asking?
This is my office you've just flung yourself into, and from which you'll fling yourself right back out of.
And you, sir, are...
The Minister of Social Services.
Minister! My deepest apologies for my capricious and unheralded arrival. By the way, you know there's a man lying in the street down there in a black robe with tread marks?
Is anyone doing anything about him?
No, he looks like a lawyer, so they're just walking around him.
Is it the same crowd? Oh my God, there's people down there with bats and clubs, and there's one man down there with a basket of tomatoes. Go back to your homes, you hear me? This is government property. You must leave at once. This is government property.
Is this all because of you?
Impressive, isn't it?
You must leave at once.
It's
Minister,
amazing.
did you know there are people on the roof with flaming torches?
Call the fire department and have them doused. And then have them turn the hoses on the crowd in the street.
But Minister, that's a voting crowd.
Okay, well, then just ask the concerned citizens to kindly return to their humble homes.
Right away, Minister.
Politely, Block, we wouldn't want to upset the good people.
No, we wouldn't want to do that.
Does this kind of thing happen to you often?
No, usually I reach the stage door before they lay siege. My timing's been off lately. Apple, anyone?
What is it you do that causes such a ruckus?
Satire, madam.
The crowd's dispersing, and the torches are being doused. You can go now.
Sometimes they double back. It's best to hold up here until dark. It's all right. They're not going to break down the doors or incinerate the building. The flaming torches are mostly for show. Go on with what you're doing. I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
Well, the problem here is we need a body. One that won't be missed, and one that if discovered dead, one no one would want to claim. You say ranting, hysterical, angry crowds chase you often, Miss Browville?
Often, yes.
People you don't know carrying clubs and torches.
Yes.
You're not in all of this.
I'm here, aren't I?
Only until dark.
This is a scam you're setting up.
Scam?
Figure of speech.
How about this for a figure of speech? World-renowned satirist cracks government scandal.
Scandal!
High-placed official given the boot. This and more on the 11 o'clock news.
That's blackmail!
That's right.
And what percentage did you have in mind?
Oh, what would you say to 60%?
Robbery.
50?
Excuse me, but since all this is about my husband, may I say something?
What is it, Mrs. Goland?
How many of us are you including in that take?
4.
Hey, 5!
A 6. Well, I am here.
Well, a lot of people are here, but what do?
You You're asking what I do? Minister, do you believe he's asking what I do? All right, Minister, tell him what I do. Go ahead, go ahead.
Forms! Forms. Block handles forms.
Oh.
You're in charge of processing forms. That's what you do, Block. I mean, primarily, you process forms.
Ah, yes.
Well, there you have it. Block is the official processor of ministry forms.
We don't have any forms.
Oh, you'll need forms.
Why?
People won't believe it's a government service without forms.
He has a point.
6 then, but I should get an extra share.
And how do you figure that?
For my husband.
He's dead.
If he wasn't, there wouldn't be anything to sell.
She has a point.
A full share, Mrs. Goland. Just like everyone else.
But what's he going to do with it?
Get buried. That is what this is all about, isn't it?
No.
Yes!
Yes!
All right then.
Block, get the forms.
Right away. Which forms?
The ones permitting a fundraiser. Taxing the fundraiser and taxing the funds the fundraiser is raising the funds for.
Right away, sir.
Now let's get this thing started.
Good, good.
How do we get things started?
We create a market.
A need.
A desire. But what do they get?
Who?
The people. What are the people that give us their money going to get?
I don't know. If you ask people what they get when they pay taxes, they say nothing.
I still think they're going to want something.
Well, nothing that costs money.
Then we'll give them something that's worth more than money.
Nothing's worth more than money.
The satisfaction of helping a poor, grieving widow.
With a simple yet neoclassic expression of melancholy, reminding them of their dear sainted grandmothers.
I'm not that old.
Mothers who went to their graves in less than grandeur they were due, buried in the Gilead indifferent ground without the pomp and circumstance they so justly deserve. With 6 magnificent Arabian stallions, manes flying, nostrils flaring, drawing a silver encrusted yet simple peasant-like cart, carrying a solid gold coffin, trumpeters at the side.
And mourners, don't forget the mourners.
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Thousands of mourners following behind in silent supplication,
Why are they silent?
joyously singing hymns
That's better.
as they wind their way through the streets of the city.
Streets cleared of traffic.
For a fee.
Of course.
Because Alexander Goland was a man of stature, a man known and loved by everyone, respected by all, an unrelenting leader of causes.
Causes? What causes? We can't have causes. There'll be picket signs, marching people, crowd. No causes.
My husband never had a cause in his life. He was a good man. He did drink a little, but he always came home afterwards because he was a good, God-fearing man.
Good causes, not controversial causes, God-fearing causes.
God and family.
The cause of God and family.
He believed in that.
So there it is, a man known and loved by thousands, a church-going man who had a family.
That sounds all right to me.
A man who will be buried in the name of everyone else. And every man, woman, and child who couldn't afford to be buried in the manner they deserve will be buried with him.
What?
In spirit, Mrs. Gold, in spirit. We're not going to cram anybody else in the box with him. People will pay to have their dearly departed one's names inscribed on expensive parchment paper and 24-karat gold letters.
Block, get parchment.
To be buried in the box by
Thousands and
Alexander
thousands of
Goland.
sheets of it.
It'll be magnificent, comforting.
Profitable.
Taxable.
Will it be enough to get people to give us their money?
We'll be affording them a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, relieving them of the heavy burden that's eaten away, unrelenting at the very soul. You, Mrs. Goland, is a wonderful incentive, and the alleviation of it is worth more than money can buy.
All right then.
We'll let the selling of Alexander Goland begin.
Block, where's the parchment?
But we still need a body.
Block, get in here. We need you immediately.
Yes, Minister.
Minister. No. sir, to burst into my office unannounced.
My wife, she's missing.
Can't you see my staff and I are preparing for a funeral?
Well, I went to the police. They said to come here to get the form.
The government is always profoundly sorry to hear of any missing persons, especially from their own party. What party is missing persons from?
Liberal.
Come back next week.
I've tried to find her. Please,
If you've lost someone, you'll have to submit a missing persons report.
The Bureau of Inquest is closed for the holiday. By the way, what holiday is this?
Excuse me. Thank you for calling burial by proxy, special order line. You'll have to leave now.
I'm not leaving till I get help.
Just a moment, please. You could try finding her yourself, thus saving the government the time and money of entering into a protracted investigation. Possibly even triggering a tax increase, for which you yourself would be held personally responsible.
Please, but
I think you'd better rethink your request.
But please.
Next week. Come back next week. Sorry to keep you waiting.
I've tried to find her. But everyone's busy getting ready for a funeral. Does it have something to do with the man in the street with the tread marks?
Is he still there?
Well, I've been away for a few months. Was he an important person?
That's him, a humble ice cream seller, a man of little means and much heart.
A man for all people.
In there?
A man who died too soon.
Not buried soon enough.
A man with whom people will be honored to be buried.
You're going to put people in there with him?
Perhaps you'd like to join me.
Hey, wait a minute!
They put up detour signs when the cars are driving
Your order
around
will be
him.
processed immediately.
Are you still here? I'm not leaving till my wife is found.
Then perhaps while you wait, you might be interested in signing up yourself. We have a special advance request form you can use to bury yourself.
I'm not dead.
Symbolically speaking, of course.
If any of you think you're going to stuff me in that box with some dead guy...
It doesn't sound as if you're interested in our offer at this time, so if I might ask you again to leave so that we can get on with our government business.
You have to find my wife.
I have orders to take. Thank you for calling burial by proxy, special order line.
I've watered down the paint as much as I can, but I don't...
My...
Oh my God!
What? You found my wife! This woman, Mrs. Alexander Goland.
He doesn't know her name either.
Show's over.
How can you be alive? I keep telling you I'm not dead. I had a hell of a hangover, but I'm definitely not dead. No, baby. Come on, I love you. How can you be alive? How can you be alive? How can he be alive?
What the minister is trying to say is, how is it that you come to be standing here living, breathing, and dripping water in the middle of his office?
Why aren't you dead?
In other words, why aren't you dead?
Well, the last thing I remember was downing a couple pints at the White Knight and feeling no pain after the fight broke out. Have you two ever been to the White Knight? Well, they got a good ale on tap there, and if you're regular, they bring out the pickled eggs and don't even charge you. People off the street get still.
Getting back to the reason you're not dead?
Well, I guess it's my hard head's what saved when the guy cracked the bottle over. Next thing I remember, I was freezing to death. Did we have a sudden cold snap or something? What's wrong with my wife? You people do something to her? I thought you have done anything.
No
I
one's
swear.
done anything to anyone. Well, with the possible exception of...
Why is this man standing here? Will someone please find out why this man is standing here breathing?
Calm down. Now, what happened after you felt cold, Mr. Goland?
Yeah, cold. I was real cold. Then from time to time, I'd get warmer, start to move, break the ice off my fingers, but then I'd get cold again. I'd be frozen stiff. Damnedest winter I can remember. You got a shower around here or something? It's been 2 months since I've had one, and I'm starting to smell. By the way, does anyone know how I got crammed into my truck? This is one of Jim Merpley's jokes. He's always pulling things like this. He's here, isn't he? Hiding in the closet, right, with one of those video cameras? That's what all this is. This is one of those home video shows, isn't it? Where's that camera? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think she's surprised to see you. As a matter of fact, I'd say that goes for all of us.
Why aren't you dead? Why does he keep saying that?
Because he's a man of few words.
What are we gonna do? What are we going to do? I want you dead! I want you dead! I want you dead! You are taking my wife and I'm getting out of here!
I can't do that.
Why not?
It's because she's in shock.
Come on, we're getting out of here! Go! Go! What's he doing over there?
Give back all that money.
What money? What's he talking about?
How would you feel about 6.66? Come on, Lon. How would you feel about 6.66% of massive projected earnings?
Are you talking about money?
Money, yes.
Hey! That's our money!
You said you're giving it to me. Some of it, yes.
Not much.
Not some.
Just some.
Less than any of us.
I think it should be equal.
What are you saying?
After all, it's his funeral.
I'm not saying...
Dad, we know for the moment we don't need a court.
We already have one.
We don't want you dead. We just don't want you alive.
Do you understand?
No.
Oh, what are you talking about?
People are paying a lot of money to have official certificates buried with a humble man in an excessively expensive funeral. But if they say a humble man walking around, they'll want their money back, causing us all a great financial loss. Now do you understand? No money.
He has weird words.
I'm not giving back this money.
How much are we talking about? Enough to buy a freezing unit that won't shut down.
Why does she keep doing that?
Well, because she understands the importance of keeping things frozen.
All right, and all I have to do is stay out of sight.
That's right.
And there's no hidden cameras anywhere.
No hidden cameras.
Okay, then. Sure.
Did you just say you're gonna stay dead? Is that what you said? You're gonna stay dead? Is that what you said, dead?
A lot of money?
More than you can make selling creamsicles.
Dead. Definitely dead.
Ah, our troubles are over!
I don't prostrate myself, being a humble man.
Who's this? Who are you and what are you doing here?
I am a woman of great wealth who has, with the help of your brochure, come to realize the shallowness of a life overflowing with material goods.
Have you brought this great wealth with you?
Take it. All I want is the opportunity to know what poverty means.
That can be arranged!
Is that him? Viewings are on prearranged basis.
It's just been arranged.
It was a great loss, a deep felt wound to the body of mankind. Are you sure he was poor? The poorest of poor.
And broke to the bone.
What was a pile to the white knight, too?
Yes, he was truly one of God's destitute.
My God.
And humble. The pamphlet says he was humble.
Humble.
Good. Now, if you'll give me a minute alone with this man.
I'm not sure if that can be arranged.
It can be arranged. Let the nice woman sit by the box.
Thank you.
You can stay as long as you like. Okay, come on, people, back to work. Come on. Thank you for calling here. My proxy may I help you. Come on, people, back to work.
Where are you going?
I have to buy more paint. You can't last the damn class.
What about me? Well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I should be doing something since it's me who's supposed to be in...
Working on that project, and Miss Browville is going to help you with your project. Aren't you going to help Mr. O'Shea with his project?
What project?
Who's O'Shea?
You are.
Oh, that project.
O'Shea, yeah, right. Hey, am I supposed to have an accent or something?
Find a job for Mr. O'Shea out on the balcony.
Here, put this on.
It's very important that the wedges are butted up tightly against the wings. So we need someone with a keen eye to climb inside, all the way inside, and tighten every one of those shoes.
Pretty cramped in there.
Cramped, yes, but with a little... You'll fit.
I'm gonna need help getting out of here.
When the time comes, if the time comes. There are no candles
Candles?
to light for the deceased.
Well, we weren't actually set up for viewing privileges today, so the candles we ordered haven't come in yet. They've been ordered, they just haven't arrived. Come back tomorrow, we'll have some candles.
I want to light a candle now.
Wow, here's a nice one.
It's used.
Yes, it is, but the ones we've ordered haven't come in yet.
I want my money back.
What's she saying?
There's something wrong here. No really poor person was buried without candles. Give me back my money.
No!
I'm going to the Prime Minister about this.
Prime Minister? You can't go to the Prime
I
Minister.
most certainly can.
But I'll be thrown out of office. I'll have to get a real job. I'll have to give back all that money. I'll do something.
Excuse me, madam. I couldn't help overhearing. Did you ask for a new candle to light for a poor man?
Yes, and all they gave
Was a
me
used candle.
That's right.
And what else would you offer up to a poor man? Would a poor man know of new candles? No. This is a man who never had enough money to buy new candles. He would go through trash bins every week looking for bits and tips of used candles to melt down so his family could have light and face it. And some weeks there were no bits and tips. And they'd sit in the darkness and thank God for what they did have. This, you madam, was a humble man who knew nothing of new candles, nothing of the material chattels of your world and mine. This is a man who would feel honored if a wealthy woman lit a used candle. He would. Any other trick it would be an insult. If you're sure. I am. Give me that candle so I can show respect for a poor man.
With pleasure.
There's a man out there I need to know what his brother is.
Why is everyone picking today to lose someone?
Where's my brother?
He's not here. Go away.
He didn't come home for dinner last night. His wife said she prepared his favorite dish, but he didn't come home. I think he's been murdered.
Did somebody say murder?
That's exactly what I said. Oh, forgive me, madam. I didn't mean to interrupt your morning. Was it a close relative?
I have to get out of here.
Not on account of me, I hope, because if it is, I can wait till later to call the police.
Police? No, police. I can't be involved in a scandal.
Scandal? What scandal?
Is there a scandal somewhere?
Take back your candle. I wasn't here.
Hope you didn't leave on account of me. Isn't this a strange place to be keeping a coffin?
Your brother's not here. Go away.
Hey, you look familiar.
A lot of people say that.
No, I mean very familiar. Don't you think he looks familiar?
Yeah, there is something, definitely around the eyes.
I see it too, but I can't quite place the face.
It's not so much the face, it's the quality of the voice.
Yeah.
Why are you all standing around here looking at this man when we have work to do? Give the police a picture of your brother and they'll find him.
I didn't bring one.
Well, then how did you expect us to find him if you don't know what he looks like?
Because we're twins.
Get this nutcase out of here.
Wait, someone has to know him. He works here.
Your brother works in the ministry?
Yes, but he never talked about it, so we kind of figured he was a spy.
Makes sense?
Traveling to distant places to be passed a microchip by an M5 operative over a cognac at the foot of the Spanish Steps. Or on the left bank, surrounded by KGB on one side, CIA on the other, with an Interpol agent leaning against a lamppost, or Del War clinging to his lower lip, smoky haze engulfing his features.
Our country doesn't have spies. We're too polite for that. We depend on other countries for such things. Besides, if we did it ourselves, we'd have to pay for it.
Excuse me, sir, you say you and your brother are twins?
Yes?
Identical or the other kind?
Identical.
You know, we've all been so uncaring about this poor man's plight. I think we should help him find his brother and not let him out of our sight until we do.
I'm trying to get him to leave, and you're keeping him here.
Man's brother has been lost, and we're going to drop everything we're doing and help him find his brother.
Thank you.
Oh, we are.
Yes, we are, because this matter is very important, more important than anything we could possibly be doing.
Have you lost your mind?
To recap, his brother is a person who does an important job in the ministry, possibly for an important person in the ministry.
Possibly, yes.
And today, your brother's mad at work?
Yes.
Does any of this ring a bell, minister?
I've got it. Your brother's the one who...
Who's missing?
Oh my God!
Yes, and now that we realize how important this is, we're going to drop everything we're doing and help find his brother!
Everything, right.
Can't tell you how much I appreciate what you do.
Who are you calling?
For the police.
Why?
I called them before I came. They said, call back if I didn't find my brother.
Police know you're here?
Yes.
No!
No.
No, you don't need the police.
Why not?
Because we're going to find your brother.
I'm very thankful for that, but we still don't know where he is.
A minor point.
I better call.
You don't want to?
I don't?
No!
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
You don't want to call your brother because
Because they only make you wait endlessly in a windowless station with no ventilation for hours on a long, hard bench between murderers and muggers until some overworked officer gets around to your missing brother. One of many missing brothers all over the province, where, on the other hand, we're willing to stop what we're doing right now and put this office completely at your disposal to help you find your brother, a brother we feel very close to.
You do?
Oh, closer than you'll ever know.
Oh, I'm touched, but I should still call.
No way!
Well, what the minister is trying to say is he'd feel very hurt if you sought outside assistance in helping find your brother, whom he feels so personally close to, and who he's going to make every effort to personally find. That's what you meant to say, isn't it, minister?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gee, I don't know how to thank you all.
We guarantee you'll be with your brother sooner than you think.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Oh, why don't you come over here and have a seat, make yourself comfortable. We've got some brochures you might like to take a look at. Our family plan might interest you.
Why, it'll be no time at all now before one of the calls the minister makes turns up your missing brother.
Calls.
To someone!
Oh, yeah, just to someone right away. Hello, this is the Minister of Social Services. I wish to speak to the Prime Minister immediately.
The Prime Minister himself?
There'll be no time at all now.
Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. This is the Minister of Social Services. Yes, there is an urgent matter at hand. A man of great importance is missing. Your name, sir?
Block. Walter Block.
Walter Block, sir. That's right, the Walter Block.
Oh, the Prime Minister knows me?
The Prime Minister knows everything.
I didn't know that.
I'd appreciate anything you can do, Mr. Prime Minister. Well, thank you. I'll relay that to Block himself. Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Bye-bye, Mr. Prime Minister. That was the Prime Minister. He wants you to know he's looking into the matter personally.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
It's the least we can do. Now, in the meantime, I see you've been looking over one of our brochures.
Ah, the family plan.
Good choice.
Is that the famous humble Alexander Goland mentioned?
Did someone call me?
Who's that?
A carpenter. His name is Alexander Goland, too, but we call him O'Shea because it helps cut down the confusion. Isn't that right, Mr. O'Shea?
Yeah.
How can there be two people named Alexander Goland
Actually, it's an extremely common name.
in the same room?
Well, I assure you, the Alexander Goland over here is the real McCoy. The one underneath the riser is a run-of-the-mill type of Alexander Goland you'd find in any town across the country and on any day.
It's still strange having the dead Alexander Goland with... Why is he at a funeral?
The level of security is higher.
That's security from what?
Terrorists.
He's already dead.
Hey, hostage taking is always a possibility.
Who'd want a dead man?
Alexander Goland is more than a dead person. He's a thin thread of hope for the downtrodden.
Yes, but keep him here with you in the same room.
We find it comforting, knowing where he is.
It's not as if he's going anywhere.
Not anymore.
There's something odd going on around here.
I assure you, there is nothing going on here.
Oh, then I want to see him. Well, why is she screaming?
It's her husband. She's a little on edge.
I insist on seeing him.
It's not a pretty sight.
He froze to death.
There was toxic waste in the water.
You're hiding something.
Not at all.
The people have a right to know!
Trust us, the sight is too horrible to imagine.
His wife will look.
What's in there?
Stop him!
Hold it! Hold it. This is the brother of a government employee. He's entitled to a private viewing of the deceased.
What are you saying?
As a special favor?
Because we don't want him to think we're hiding anything, which of course we aren't, right, Minister?
Oh, that's right. And since you're the brother of one of our most valuable employees, you're certainly entitled to special treatment.
Are you sure there's no other way?
Oh, quite sure, Mrs. Golan. There's no other way to show the family of a ministry employee how much we appreciate them.
It's not as if I don't trust all of you.
We understand all of that.
You'll get a better view if you step a little to the left.
Oh, like this?
That's perfect.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Then give Mr. Block his special treatment.
Oh my God, my brother!
Is he dead?
Unfortunately not. The dead are more easily gotten rid of than the merely passed out.
What are we gonna do with him? We can't stuff him into with Block. He won't fit.
We can't let him come too. We could put him in the truck. If we knew where the truck was.
Of course.
Mr. Golan, can you hear me?
72 so far.
That's good, Mr. Golan, but we need to know where your truck is.
Well, it's 2 blocks away on Linden and 2nd at Cody's 24-hour emergency towing garage. And if you're going there, can you check on my popsicles?
First thing,
Thanks. Would you like me to keep on working?
until everyone's tightened.
Okay.
How are we gonna get him to the truck? We can't just carry a body down the street. Someone's bound to notice.
Not necessarily.
Well, what if he defrosts?
If you charge it real good, it'll last all day. Just don't let the red wire get wet. It's really important.
Well, do you think there's going to be room for the both of them in there?
I don't know.
Where's the other end? Okay, Mrs. Golan, you better come along. I don't want to cross wires and end up in a puddle of baked Alaska. And get the door, please.
This would be easy if I were taller.
Everything's going to be all right. Don't worry.
Hurry up.
Then why do I have this feeling of doom?
Well, 368 screws. Hello?
Can we just leave him there?
I'm finished.
I don't think so.
Hey, you guys gonna get me out of here or what?
Just a second, Mr. O'Shea. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
There's a dead baby right down the hall. And there's another one.
Madam, what are you doing back here? And why do you look like that?
And the man in the street. Why are all these dead people here?
Have you been in an accident?
I was trapped by the crowds.
Crowds? What crowds?
The ones out there that blocked the entire north end and are moving in on the city.
Crowds again?
When you say crowds, what exactly do you mean?
Thousands of people, men, women, children, approaching from all directions, chanting Goland, Goland. That's what I mean by crowd.
What are we gonna do?
Did you say Goland?
Was this a running crowd or a walking crowd?
What difference does that make? The important word here is crowd.
It makes a lot of difference if they're armed.
Oh, armed?
Were they armed, madam?
Torches, clubs, spears, I suppose.
Well, they weren't carrying weapons, just banners and offerings.
Offerings?
Some
Hello?
had goats, others were carrying baskets of fruit, and some were just waving fistfuls of money around in the air.
Money?
Yes, money.
Fistfuls?
Fistfuls,
And they're
yeah.
coming here?
Did you say they're calling my name?
Who are you?
Well, I'm Alexander Goland.
Where's the kid with Dad?
No, not that Alexander Goland. He's a carpenter. We call him O'Shea. Yep, a part-time carpenter. Actually, he's a ministry employee who likes to work with his hands. Isn't that right, Mr. O'Shea?
What?
He's a little hard of hearing, all that hammering and everything. You're a carpenter who has the same name as Alexander Goland!
Oh. Yeah.
And like I said, we call him O'Shea because it helps cut down on the confusion.
They're getting closer.
Oh, will there be photographers?
This is a riot, not a photo opportunity.
Riot? Here?
Not here.
Not here, good. What are we going to do about him? And the certificates, half of them haven't even been lettered yet.
Hurry up, get these picked up. We gotta get them in the car.
Is something going on here?
No, it's simply late certificates being placed.
But what about my certificate?
Yours is one of the first ones to be put in the coffin.
Get those over there.
Well, how could I be sure? Mine could be under that pile or that pile right there.
No, it's those of lesser station whose certificates are being put in now. Is that right?
Sure. Thank you.
Well, I wouldn't want to miss the opportunity to buy that page.
Ma'am, you have your government's word on it.
Just in time.
No, wait.
Even I've never seen crowds like that before. There are thousands and thousands of people out there.
With money.
What?
Money? Way we get around his offerings.
I don't know about money, but I did see a lot of people with chickens. Lots and lots of chickens.
Chickens.
Chickens?
Something to do with the grassroots rebellion against the chicken and egg person board.
Seems people broke into chicken ranches all across the province, took hundreds and thousands of chickens hostage to force down prices. And when the crowds amassed for Alexander Goland's funeral started forming and moving on the city, there were all these people with armloads of chickens.
What about the money?
Did you get caught in the crowds too?
On the north end.
Will somebody answer me?
They've taken over the entire city. The streets are packed with thousands of people collecting chickens. And they all have feathers in my hair.
Some of them must have money. I mean, geez. Will you look at that?
What is it?
They're setting up bleachers and they're selling cotton candy and tiny toy coffins. People are waving and cheering. Well, I can make a killing if I had my truck. Every school kid in the city is down there.
Are they armed?
No, but they're beginning to cheer and wave. You'd better say something to the minister. The momentum is building.
I'm not good with crowds.
This door's not going to hold much longer.
Leaning ladders against the walls.
Why don't the people just go free? Please go free people inside the building.
Say something to them.
What do I say?
Something that'll keep them down there.
There's a man coming off the roof. Oh no, he's fell. Oh my.
Is he dead?
No, the chicken broke his fall. The feathers fly. God almighty.
Well, perhaps one of you should talk to them.
I can't get involved.
What about you? You have crowds around you all the time.
If I let go of the store, you're gonna have a crowd around you.
It's you they want to hear, minister.
I don't know what to say.
Say something, anything, only do it fast. Give me a hand or this door is gonna break.
Think of it as a crowd of voters.
Voters? Voters? Yes, of course. Can you talk to conservatives?
Get out there.
There's still time to call the fire department. and have
Talk to
them
them now.
Right away.
Go back outside. The minister's going to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and... I don't think they can hear me.
Here, use this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Minister of Social Services addressing you. I want to thank all of you for your support in your government's effort to address the issue of individual dignity and death. How am I doing? Good. Come on, doing great. No longer will anyone be buried without the pomp and circumstance they deserve. From now on, anyone who wants can have a funeral beyond their means. Another free service given to you, the fine people of this country, by your government.
offering is merely a chicken or a fistful of money. I want you to know your government is here for you, caring for you, reaching out to you as Mister! As we can!
Chicken. The people are still cheering him. What's that woman over there saying? The one on top of the man with the trunk marks.
It sounds like long live the minister. There's a man over there setting off fireworks. Probably going to name a holiday after him.
At least we'll know what that one's for.
This might be an opportune moment to make our exit.
I agree.
Cheering again! They're calling for one of their own to take the minister's place.
It looks like it's getting nasty out there again. I think we've lost our window of opportunity.
Talk to you! You're the only humble person up here. Man for all people.
Me?
You.
My husband?
Oh, God.
I thought Alexander Goland was your
No.
husband.
Time to meet you people, Mr. Minister.
What do I say to them?
Whatever comes next. Talk to them. Talk